Struggles on and off the field have become a feature for Pakistan cricket side as they look to overturn tables in the ongoing ODI World Cup in India. Pakistan have lost their third consecutive match in the World Cup and now face a prospect of early exit from the competition. But fans have been on heavy criticism for the side as they now look to turn the tables and build for a major rebuild. Hello and a warm welcome to this edition of WION Podcast. I am Aditya Pimpale and joining me today is my good friend and colleague Abhinav Singh. Hello Abhinav, it has been a very terrific ODI World Cup and we have been seeing some ups and downs, but no better place to start with the Pakistan cricket team and the way that it has been happening around that they are losing 3 consecutive matches. What next for this team, especially after that Afghanistan defeat?
Yeah, very uphill tasks for them. Especially looking at their fixtures, I see they have to play Bangladesh, they have to play South Africa. And given what has happened in the last 3 matches, and especially against Afghanistan, losing to your arch rivals like that, it has to be morale downing, to be honest, right? And when you see the body language of the team, it really doesn't represent a team that is going for that World Cup trophy. I mean, they came here with a lot of ambitions and everything, but it really hasn't gelled together for them. And for Babar Azam, I mean, I feel sorry, but yeah, they have a very difficult task, Aditya.
See, we have seen with the Indian team, good problems to have, but they have a different problem altogether. The way that they were beaten against Afghanistan, total dominance by the opposition. It wasn't like that. It went down to the final over. Just a quick fire reminder that Pakistan lost by 8 wickets and over to spare against Afghanistan. So, Abhinav, what is your take on that? Because they were never in the contest in that match. If they were competitive, that is understandable, but beaten, trashed by Australia, then by Afghanistan, and you lose to 2 neighbors, India as well as Afghanistan. That is really hard to take.
And at the cost of being, sarcastic or anything, I'm not being that to all Pakistani fans or us. I'm just saying that it has been the track record that they have lost to India in the World Cups. So it's just the optics of that it doesn't really feel that harsh. But Afghanistan, an up-and-coming team, and because of the politics of things, it feels very harsh for a team like Pakistan. And it wasn't an upset. Nobody's calling it an upset because of the simple fact that Afghanistan totally dominated them. And they got lucky last time, Pakistan, in 2019 World Cup. Afghanistan were right on the door. They could have easily won the match. And this time they kept their cool, they kept their calm and went over the line. Big questions for Pakistan and Pakistan selection board. What happens next?
You're talking about the selection board. Let us get deep into it. Babar Azam, it looks like he has lost control of the dressing room. There are rumors that he might be sacked as the captain. A lot of things are happening behind the doors, What is your take on this? All the chapters that are taking behind the doors, especially, Babar, we have heard rumors that he was crying.
I mean, isn't this classic Pakistan team when they, have a losing streak in the World Cup or any competition? This has been the folly of Pakistan cricket for a long time. Growing up as a cricket fan, you always heard these things, and it's the fact that it is still continuing in 2023. As a cricket fan, it's rather bad because you want Pakistan cricket to grow, and they might not have another player like Babar Azam for a long time. I mean, for sure, he hasn't fired in this World Cup, but he's probably the biggest player they have right now. And the news that has been circulating in the media, and then PCB had to release a statement that there is no rift or anything. I mean, the fact that they had to release a statement says a lot about what is happening behind the doors. And to see Babar Azam in that body language, especially in that post-match presentation and the conference after the Afghanistan match, it was kind of heartbreaking because I personally like him as a player. As a captain, sure, he has a lot of deficiencies that he has to overcome. But as a fan, you have to back your players, and especially a player like Babar Azam. We did it with Virat Kohli, and we are seeing the results.
We saw that in 2021, India were on the losing side in that T20 World Cup. India were trashed. They were lost to Pakistan. They were lost to New Zealand. They didn't make it to the knockouts. But then, you always have that support of kindness. You have that sympathy But former players, Wasim Akram, he came out and he had some really good words to fire at his team. 8 kgs of mutton, that is what they are eating per day. So what is, tell us something about that. You have got big into it. You have written stories on it. So what is your intake on that?
See, Aditya, this is the biggest gripe I have with Pakistani cricket. They're former cricketers. I mean, all due respect to them. They should, shut their shutters for the World Cup at least. I get that they have to go for their YouTube channels and everything, but you cannot trash your players like that, especially if someone is a legend like Wasim Akram. I get his point, I get his frustration. I saw Waqar Younis on air, like probably he shed a tear or two. But you cannot trash your players like that. I mean, if there are some systemic problems, you are probably the greatest player to come out of Pakistan. You can make the changes, but we have seen once the former players get into the Pakistani system, they probably turn out a bust like Ramiz Raja. It happens. Again, my personal opinion would be that they shouldn't really be like. We don't know the truth behind that 8 kg mutton thing. We don't know exactly. I mean, it got the clicks. It was viral everywhere, but it doesn't go down well with a team that is already down.
Yeah. In fact, just a quick fire reminder to our viewers as well, to our listeners as well, by the way. Pakistan will next take on South Africa, Bangladesh, New Zealand, and they end the campaign against defending champions England. So 3 very, very big fixtures to come, the next 4. Do you even see them winning 2 of those fixtures? Because it really looks tough on the paper, by the way.
See, last 2019 World Cup, if my memory serves me right, they won 5 matches. And yet they didn't qualify for the top semi-finals. This time they have won 2 matches and they have very tough fixtures coming up. Especially South Africa, they face at Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. That is spinning track, and we saw how the batters struggled. The bowlers couldn't really conjure up anything. And so yeah, they have to win every single match. Every single match is a knockout for them. And if they slip even in one match, that is curtains for them in this World Cup.
You said about the venue, it was the same venue where they lost to Afghanistan, so they will know about the nature of the track. But just coming to the point, that former players coming out trashing the opposition, but we have to give applause to the Afghanistan team as well. We can't just discredit them the way that Rashid Khan and company, there were celebrations in Kabul as well. The videos have been surfacing. So how do you see that, next gem of a team, we just can't look them as giant killers, but they are something looking like if they can get couple of more wins, maybe semi-finals, who knows?
See, there's something very endearing about this Afghanistan story. There's this team that doesn't even have a home base. Yeah. They have been in India as pariahs, as refugees for a long time. And they are practicing literally some few kilometers away from our office. And to see them grow this way, and people are not saying this as an upset. People knew that if Afghanistan play their cards right, they can win. So it's a very heartening story that they have come so far, and as they have got a lot of mileage left, and they can cause two or three teams a lot more damage than that.
So your take is that Afghanistan, they might be just with an outside chance to make it to the semi-finals. But just coming to the bigger picture, let me bring the India angle to it. We have seen the Indian former players also coming out. India is on a very positive note, but when even they had bad days, they didn't trash their players in the way that Wasim Akram and others are doing. So is there a big difference between how you treat your players? Because motivation, confidence also matters a big thing.
Of course it does. Again, take the example of Afghanistan team. Who do they have as a mentor? Ajay Jadeja. And there hasn't been a single bad word about him. All Afghanistani players have been singing praises of him. And this is the difference, I'd say. There's this former player that Afghanistan have, hired as a mentor, and he has been working wonders with them. Why cannot the Pakistani players do more of it? You see their biggest stars, the biggest former stars sitting in, studios and, just going for those clicks. If they want the changes to come through the Pakistani system, they have to do a lot more than just thrashing their teams.
I guess, we can just compare them to someone like Manchester United. The problems are there at the board level. It is not just on the pitch level, because last year when Mickey Arthur was being hired as the coach, they wanted him to come to Pakistan. He wasn't ready to come to Pakistan. They wanted their camps outside Pakistan as well. And that is kind of similar to work from home that we all do at the moment. But, those problems, they come up from the higher level, that is from the board of directors. But more importantly, what is happening with the Pakistan team is that it is affecting their results on the pitch. We saw with what is happening in the next 4 fixtures. My final question to you would be, do they make it to the semi-finals?
Tough question. If Pakistan are on song, they can qualify. We saw that in 2017 Champions Trophy. But no, I don't think so they are qualifying, because I think the top 4 teams, India and New Zealand seem like a certainty. South Africa have been crushing it.
Yeah.
They have been piling up big scores. And then you have Australia. They just, 300, winning by more than 300 runs. It's safe to say the 5-time champions are right back in this contest. And then you have Afghanistan making giant strides, and Pakistan just really don't have the confidence right now. If they get that confidence back, if they get their pace bowlers firing, it might be an outside chance, but I think it's an uphill task.
It is going to be an uphill task. Pakistan cricket and its problems have it has always been a part of the fairy tale. 2007, Shoaib Akhtar being sent back from a World Cup in South Africa in the T20 edition, with Inzamam Ulagh retiring 2007. It has always been a chaos with the Pakistan team. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it for this edition of the WION Podcast. Hope you have enjoyed this one. Keep listening to us and make sure that you tune into more of this as we bring you the India games as well. We will be on song for the crunch matches in the World Cup as well. But for now, it's time to say goodbye to Abhinav, and for the rest of the team, it's goodbye and thanks for joining. And do follow us on our X, Instagram, and on our social media handles as well. Bye-bye.